All right, y'all, we back with another one. It's High Time Reviews. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. We doing House of the Dragon Season 2, Episode 8. The Queen Whoever Was. All right, let's start the episode. So, Tywin Lannister meets up with the people of Essos to negotiate terms on them breaking the blockade so that they can get the resources for the war. They don't come to terms financially, so they end up agreeing that post the war, they'll end up giving the people of Essos stepstones or whatever. And they like, all right, cool, we agree to that, but we got one condition. If we're gonna sail with you, you got to meet our admiral. So then Admiral Lohart ends up coming out. It's a woman. She looks just like this previous character from Game of Thrones. I find it crazy that she keeps calling him Tywin, even no matter how much he tells her, like, my name is Tywin. The next thing you see Aemon on the back of Vhagar looking at Shark's Point, and he literally just burnt that whole little ass town up. Just because he's pissed off. Just because he feel like he's outranked and outmatched by Rhaenyra in this moment. He willing to burn down a city of innocent people that ain't got shit to do with nothing. And y'all think this who should be your king. Get him out of there. Next scene, you got burnt up as Aegon. And he's in his apartment. The Grand Maester is like, giving him some wine or whatever the case may be. And of course, here come Littlefoot tipping in. And he's basically telling him like, listen, bro, I know you know what your brother did to you. Me and you, we need to get the fuck out of here so that we can live to fight another day. He like, listen, if we get out of here, I got money ducked off in Essos. We can go there. We'll be good. And then we can let your brother and your sister basically kill each other. We can just slide back once everybody dead, and then you'll be like the savior. And he's giving very much, and I'm not going nowhere. And he feels like, even though he knows Aemon basically tried to kill him, he thinks very much I can still use his dragon. So I might as well, because at the end of the day, that's still the biggest dragon in the realm. So he doesn't care anything about the fact that he tried to kill him when. Once he finds out that Rhaenyra has 3 more riders, he definitely ain't letting Vhagar go nowhere. Because then that just puts this weird-ass player in the middle of the game in between both families. Can you imagine having the Greens on one side, the Blacks on one side, and then just aiming, just flying around aimlessly on Vhagar, just causing fucking havoc everywhere? I just know for a fact that ever since Rhaenyra got kicked out the Vale, she been going through it. And all that girl has been doing is running around and just trying to survive. Like, I don't know if she's going to make it, though, because it's getting cold. I haven't really seen her eat like that. She's drinking out of lakes and shit. I just need her to get it together. So, I mean, I wanted her to be gone from the Vale, but I ain't want her to be out here just running around aimlessly. But we'll see what happens with that. And the next thing, Off is very much not going to be one of Jace's favorite people. Jace is already feeling the type of way about his bastard ancestry, and then the fact that these like commoners are coming in and basically being able to fly dragons. He's pissed off, so he's really not feeling Off's demeanor, because Off is a douche. So like he's acting like a douche, like he's very, very much feeling himself because he claimed the dragon, whereas though he was there in the same room and he was not giving that exact same vibe. He was being more respectful because he understands rank and position when it comes to this shit. So like he knows who Jace is. He knows who he is to the throne. Like he respects Jace in that moment. But Jace basically tell Off like, bro, get your act together, especially if you about to be up in here, because I'm going to check you every time. And he definitely did. So next scene, you got Corlys and Rhaenyra talking, and Corlys basically almost slipped up and told her about Adam, and I'm just like, well, if you're willing to almost slip up and talk about it, you might as well just tell her so that they can stop trying to figure out how all of this shit is even possible with the dragon. Because once you reveal that, everyone will understand how, at least a small portion of it, because by him being Valyrian, he would probably have some sort of claim to being a dragon rider. Corlys basically ends up telling Rhaenyra, like, basically, look, you got the advantage right now. They caught off guard. You got the extra riders. You need to just strike now. But he also tells her, like, don't forget, like, that you have another brother that doesn't live in King's Landing. Like, he lives wherever the High Tower people are from, or whatever the case may be. So that Darion has a dragon, and then Helena has. Rhaenyra basically tells like Corlys like, oh, it doesn't matter because first and foremost, Darion doesn't come this way, and then Helena isn't like, she's a rider, but she's not like a combat rider. But Corlys is like, it's not gonna matter in times of war, so strike now while they caught off guard. He's got a point. Okay, we got more of this Daemon at Harrenhal bullshit. So Sir Boone comes in. So if you remember in the last episode, Rhaenyra basically sent somebody to Harrenhal to basically check up on Daemon. So the dude is basically in cahoots with Daemon. So him and Daemon talk, and he basically tell Daemon like, listen, I understand, you know, she the rightful heir, blah, 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 blah. But right now we in times of war, shit getting sticky. And I don't think that a queen is going to get it done. Like, we need a king. So here's the thing. Simon Strong is like kind of like in the cut, like, and he kind of like catch the cool, you feel me? So for me, I'm like, all right, bet, because why would she think that's her man's well enough to send him out there and he sit there and try to conspire with Daemon? But that's probably why he asked her, was she kicking him off the council when she asked him to take on this mission. He was more worried about whether or not he was getting kicked off the council versus doing this mission for her as his queen. But yeah, now it all makes sense. He's a fucking snake. Aemon gotta chill, because now Aemon then basically cut off all resources. He said no ships coming or going from King's Landing. After hearing about how Rhaenyra had grabbed up all the bastards and took them to Dragonstone. So he's like, okay, so how the fuck they basically pull that off? Like, so now I gotta cut everything off. Lena and Allison in the next scene are just basically like chatting it up. And the thing about it, I really hate when they get them two scenes together, because again, I must say it every time, they don't be talking about shit. So they always gotta bring an extra person in to disrupt the whole entire scene. So they're talking. Aemon come busting in the room, and he basically telling her like, listen, I need you to go get your dragon and you're going to ride out with us. And she's like, I'm not going to burn anybody. And I'm just like, girl, I don't understand how you think that's a thing. So you think that you being one of those dragon riders in this war, you're not going to be coerced or pressured into flying and fighting in this war? I understand you're a softie, but you fly. Somebody's got to do it. Like, I don't know. And that's basically what Aemon is saying to her. And then Allison takes it as like, oh, you're trying to mentally break her. And he's like, no, if she can't stand up for herself, how's she going to be the queen? You feel me? And she's like, oh, you can't bully her to do that. She is the queen. He like, listen, don't you forget you were the queen too. And I sent your ass on a fucking retreat last week. Like, after she leaves out of the apartment with Aemon and Helena and that whole shit, she basically ends up going to the Grand Maester and telling him that she needs safe passage. And I'm just like, where is this bitch going? Where is she going? Seeing Kristen Cole goofy ass is sitting out there like sniffing Allison's handkerchief and shit, to the point where like her brother ends up like seeing him and then like pulling out his sword on him and shit, and he's like, bro, do you have no shame? Like, you sitting up here fucking with the queen, this, that, and the third. Listen, you can say what you want. I love your sister the whole time. She saved my life hella times, and when we were fucking around, she was married to no one, and she wasn't even really the queen, because by then Aegon was pretty much sitting on the throne. I'm like, all right, Kristen Cole, but it's like, nigga, you still got motives. Like, so in the next scene, you finally got Tylan and Loha, and they end up having like this weird ass mud match, and I'm just like, what's going on here? Like I said, they have a love-hate relationship. The whole match seemed very sexual, and eventually Tylan ends up winning, but she's like super turned on by the fact that he won. So in the next scene, you got Jay sitting around pouting, and that's what I'm saying. And it took for Baylor to come in there and basically tell Jace off like, bro, stop sitting around here pouting like you're the heir to the throne. You're letting some people that don't even have nothing to do with you, or that could literally stop anything that you got going on, as far as she know, affect how you feel about where you stand in your family. And then for him to keep bringing up his father, bro, nobody cares. She said, do you think that you're the first kid birthed by the wrong father. I said, listen, Baylor is keeping it a fucking buck, okay? Give her more lines, HBO. More lines. Like, she's straight telling Jace off, and I'm just like, honestly, get over it. As far as Raina, like I said, her just being out there in the middle of nowhere, it's got to be building her up for next season or towards the end of the episode, because I'm not seeing it. I'm just seeing her lost, cold, hungry. She should have just beat up the lady from the Veil, honestly. She had them dragons. I'm sure they could have did a little bit of that. Next scene, so you got Tylen and Lohar having dinner, and this is after the fight or whatever. And mind you, they already agreed to sail with him, through the blockade or whatever the case may be. And she tells him, like, she wants to join their families. She wants to have kids with him. And I'm just like, I don't know what that's giving at all. Seeing you got a group dinner with Rhaenyra and her new riders and Jace, Baylor, and I don't know who else there, but Rhaenyra is giving speeches and talking about how much of an honor it is and how she bestowed this and that, the third onto them and made it allowed for them to claim these dragons. Baby, that's not what happened. I hate to say it, that's not what happened. Them dragons picked them. You ain't really had shit to do with it. Pretty much all you did was take them up out of Dragonstone, talking about, all right, now go find your people. And that's what they did. You can't really say, like, you granted them that anything, because, like, they would have had to have some sort of small claim to it to even be able to pull it off. So it don't got shit to do with you. You just don't know who these people are to you. That's the problem. Mind you, while she's doing all of that, and mind you, she's sitting there like praising them, and Off is sitting there acting like a drunk ass douchebag per usual, sitting there screaming about how he want extra little baby chickens and more wine, this, that, and the third. Basically got his damn feet kicked up. Jace had to check him again because you could tell it was pissing him off, and Baylor was looking like Jace, don't do it. You feel me? And Rhaenyra was like, this is what I'm gonna do. If y'all can successfully pull this mission off for me, I'm gonna make y'all knights of the, knights of the realm, or whatever the case may be. And she ends up telling Off, like, listen, a knight would basically watch his behavior in the presence of the queen. Like, he like, well, look, you might as well hurry up and make me a knight, because as of right now, I'm not, baby, and I'm gonna act an ass. And that's what he did. He basically had this little banter between Off and Adam, where he basically trying to call Adam out about him being a pussy. And I'm just like, how is that even the case when you don't even know Adam for real? But Adam was pretty much one of the first ones with New Dragon before either one of y'all, so I don't understand how y'all could talk shit to him at all. Like I said, when it comes to Hugh, he just kind of like sits there and just plays it cool, because he knows more about his lineage than Off does. So he's playing chess, while Off is definitely playing checkers. So we're going to have to keep an eye on Hugh more than we would ever have to keep an eye on Off. So Rhaenyra told them she want them to fly out and strike 2 days from now. I said, 2 days? These niggas just got their dragons. Off sloppy as a bitch on his, and I ain't even seen Hugh fly his, so I don't understand how you figure you could get him 2 days to learn how to fly dragons and do combat and learn commands, and you about to send them out there to, 3 different towns? And then you're telling them you don't mind if they fuck up the villages. So now you got them looking at you a little sideways, because they like, oh, she's willing to hurt like innocent people too. She's like, listen, at this point, I gotta make a stand. She said, if I go in and I hurt a few people, it'll be better than what will end up have to happen if it ends up being a full-out war. And I'm like, all right. So she's saying just sacrifice a few for the plenty. Of course, like I said, Simon had caught the coup with Damon and the dude that Rhaenyra sent over there to Harrenhal. So her grand basically came in and basically told her, like, basically Damon trying to have a coup against you, and I found out that the dude that you sent over there to check on him isn't on it too. So Rhaenyra instantly gets pissed off. So she grabs up Adam, and she's like, come with me. And when she says that, Jace looks at her with this look of disgust, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know why she didn't take Jace. But what Jace has to understand is if you're next in line, she's never going to sacrifice you, bro. Especially not after losing your brother. Say what you want, feel how you feel. She's not going to pick you. Like, sorry. So Adam and Rhaenyra, they had the Heron Hall. Like I said, they about to go see what's up with Daemon. And in the next scene, you got more of these fucking stupid ass hallucination scenes with Daemon and Harrenhal and Rivers, and she takes him to the God's Wood tree. Daemon has this massive vision that includes the prophecy of the prince who was promised ends up actually being Daenerys, because you see her like naked, you know, with the ash on her with the 3 dragons. So like then you see the Night King, and then you see like the aftermath of that whole war. And I'm just like, damn. So Daemon literally just witnessed everything that kind of happened in the original Game of Thrones. I said, oh wow, this is crazy. I said, I guess this is their okay, now we're going to kind of try to bring it together, because we may give you a time jump in season 3 and 4. So who knows what's going to happen with that. In the scene, somehow he ends up having a conversation with Helena in the vision. And my thing is why do Helena keep showing up on it almost like as if she's Team Black more than she is Team Green? Because why would she even be in Daemon's? End up blending the two scenes together, whereas though like Daemon's vision blends into the next scene. So it's like Helena, and then in the next scene it's still Helena, but then she ends up having this meeting with Aemon out there, and Aemon, she basically tells Aemon like, Aemon, I'm not going to go to war for you, so what are you going to do? Do me like you did Aegon? And he's like, oh, that's treason for you to be saying that. I could kill you. You do this, do that, and the third. And she's like, you do what you want, but that doesn't change the fact that I know you basically did that to him. And she's like, you can say what you want, but at the end of the day, the way the prophecy is written, you're going to go down. And even in a wheelchair, Aegon is going to be back on the throne. And I'm like, damn. Rhaenyra ends up rolling up on her. Adam sits dead in the middle as protection. She rolls up in there. Nobody bends the knee. Nobody treats her as if she's the queen. And that's what I said. That alone should have let you know that it was a coup going on. Because why are none of these people properly greeting her if they know that Daemon is there on her behalf? That just goes to show that Daemon has been out there chasing clout for himself, not for Rhaenyra. So eventually Daemon comes up out the middle of the crowd, and you know, he comes and they have a conversation, and she's like, I know what's been going on, blah 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 blah. Daemon cuts her off, and he basically tells her like, my brother wanted somebody that could unite the kingdoms, and you're probably the best bet for that. Like, and he really picked you. So at the end of the day, he bent his knee. And I'm like, all right, finally, we took all fucking season and 15 goddamn visions for him to figure out that he was supposed to bend the knee to her and work for her. And he said that every man that he went and claimed for as like any army he has and his dragon belongs to her. As it should. Nigga, that's your fucking wife. Why wouldn't it? You bend the knee. Why wouldn't you stop trying to be the king and just be the king consort? Like, bro, it's less likely that you'll die. Because 9 times out of 10, when the shit hit the fan, they're going to try to kill Rhaenyra specifically. And then they may come after you because you're more of like an enforcer. But not because they want to kill you. Like, bro, you're not the king. You have no rightful claim to it in this moment. So they wouldn't be coming directly after you. So just relax. Let me tell you something, yo. Corlys and Alan, I feel like Corlys, let that man be, bruh. I don't know how many episodes this man got to tell you he do not want to be bothered and he don't want no clout. He said, listen, you got Adam. He said, take Adam. Adam is willing to be all up your ass, acting like you ain't never did no wrong to us. But I'm not about to sit here and do that. Sit here. And after all of these people had to die and all of this shit had to happen for you to even come and acknowledge me as your son. How you think that make me feel? He like, at the end of the day, I never asked for your help. He said, if it's not related to the army, and the sea ships or whatever the case may be, he like, bro, I don't want your help. And he like, and I'm not gonna like erase you of your guilt. That's not what I'm here for. So he basically tells him fuck the fuck off, and I'm not mad. Like, it was needed to be said, because how long was we gonna sit around and try to act like Corliss was the father of the year because his kids decided to step up and do something for themselves? No, we not doing that. Basically, gonna tell that man to be grateful. Be grateful. Yeah, you being weird out here, Corey. And what we gonna do is we just gonna chalk it up to Ray Neestar, because maybe you that's how you grieving stupidity. I'ma just assume that. But anything else than that, you didn't have to say that to that man. Like, ungrateful. I don't know. Finally, because I was gonna say if it would have never happened, I just don't know what we was doing out here. So finally, Raina finally sees the dragonfly above her. So she starts like jetting towards the dragon. Mind you, it's not like as if the dragon has like came down to her or anything. She like sees the dragon and feels like she just needs to run towards it. I'm like, well, do something, but you ain't been able to claim ever. So what all of a sudden makes you think you could claim? The Raina sees the dragon. You end up getting this scene with Rhaenyra and Mysaria, and she just like keep crying about how she feels like her father wouldn't have wanted the war to be like this, that, and the third. Baby, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If your father wouldn't have agreed to marry the young bitch, he could have kind of avoided all this too. He's kind of at fault in this too, because he could have married somebody else. He was so grievy about your mother that he was willing to do anything, and he didn't even understand the coup that was going on in his own house with his goddamn hand. Otto. Oh, wait a minute. In the next scene, see, because what the fuck is Alicent doing there? See? I mean, listen, Rhaenyra did pull a pop up on her, so I mean, she's not wrong for doing the same thing. Oh, this little face off is crazy because Rhaenyra is feeling herself because Alicent is basically humbly there, like groveling. And Rhaenyra, right? It's too late, baby. You sparked it. Once the blood was shed, right now, because like I said, once she realized that Rhaenyra had told her that the story of Ice and Fire wasn't about her son, now all of a sudden she been second guessing the whole shit, and she want to sit here talk about she don't want the war to happen, and she want to make a run for it. Her and Helena, baby, Helena not going no fucking way. You think Aemon would be more willing to let you go. But he ain't letting Helena go no motherfucking way. Right, and then Rhaenyra got in her ass. Bitch, you came here like thinking I would like, what, forgive you, make you feel better about yourself? Because I'm not. No, hopefully she just came there just to get her shit off and absolve herself and go on about her life. Because Rhaenyra ain't never going to feel sorry for her after everything she done. Especially after losing the son. Oh, no, don't try to bring her mother up. Like, that's not your place. See, now that's how you get fucked up right here. Because if she turn around and smack you up for bringing up her mother, her dead mother, also her dead father, she would be wrong, right? So Alicent, I think you should chill. And she basically said to her, like, you can say all of that about my father and how this, that, and the third, but when it came time, you basically felt like he was too weak to make his own decisions. And that's why you decided to be in cahoots with your father to take over. So don't try to praise my father knowing that you basically turned around and stabbed him in the back in the same hand. Right. She's in her ass, buddy. She's definitely in her ass. And then for her to sit there and tell Rhaenyra that she think that because Aegon is busted up and beat down, that he would be willing to bend the knee. And Rhaenyra is telling her, like, baby, I don't understand why you're here doing all of this. I tried. You said no. I proceeded with caution, and now I'm not anymore. She said it's the fucking war now, so I don't understand why you're here. Go. Your son is not going to bend the knee. Aegon already said he plans on staying the king. So, Alicent, get the fuck out of here. Seriously. You looking real weak in here. That Rhaenyra is like, baby, I am in this shit. She like, bitch, you supposed to be my formidable opponent. Like, and now you fucking bowing out. She like, nah, bitch, get back in the ring. Get back in the ring. But Alicent is shook. She don't know what is going to be the outcome. She like, my whole family could end up getting wiped out because of this shit. She like, I can't. And Rhaenyra is not budging. She don't have no love for this lady right now. She don't. And Alicent just gonna have to suck it up and ride it out. Go back home. Go home. Sir, this is an intense moment because, like, I mean, at the end of the day, the two of them really used to be best friends. So it has to be like a piece of Rhaenyra's heart that's trying to break for her. Because she ends up saying, like, a piece of you has changed. So you're starting to see the cracks in Rhaenyra in this moment because she's, like, pretty much almost taking her guard down. But then she's just like, look, if you're going to let me go, I'm going. She's really ready to go against her son. This shit is not going to play well. It's not going to play well. She's going to end up getting killed. Aemon is going to kill his own mother. I do not know what this is about to give. And she's so worried about feeling like she want to be able to breathe easy, guilt-free. How do you start all of this? Be the biggest chess piece in all of this. And then just be so overwhelmed with it by the time you about to get your ass handed to you. What? And then really keep trying to lean into the friendship with you and Rhaenyra. It's been a long time. Yeah, it's been a long time since y'all been friends, baby. She not there with you. And Alicent, you're going to have to eat that. You did that. You did that, bro. Stop acting like you didn't. Get the fuck out of there. Like, I'm telling you, Rhaenyra, listen, she stood 10 toes on that. I ain't even mad. I'm not mad at Rhaenyra. She stood on business when it came to that shit. Like, Alicent, get the fuck out of here, bro. Giving you safe passage back to King's Landing, so you're good. In the next scene, you got Hugh suiting up because, you know, they about to go out. Hugh, Adam, and Off is about to go out. Okay. So you got Rhaena still running towards that dragon. I mean, she's had a rough time. I'm so sad they did my baby like that. All this for her to be able to claim is crazy. I mean, she keeps running towards this dragon. I hope she's able to claim, because if she's doing all of this and still won't be able to claim, that's sad, yo. That's sad. Shit, you got a scene with fucking Daemon's army, the dragon. Like, they squatted right now. They got air, land, and sea. They are straight. Like, they are straight. But also, the Greens got their squad too. So now we're basically like at this point where all armies are basically headed towards each other. So all we can do is see what happens. They had hella soldiers, bro. Hella soldiers. So Tylan is what? He's gonna marry this lady? I'm getting the vibe that Tylan's gonna marry this lady. I mean, they both kind of got the blonde hair, so I mean, it kind of fits. It's gonna fit. But I need to know more about her lineage. If they gonna, everybody is out, yo. That's what I'm saying. It's about to go down. What? I mean, this is not the best finale because it's not action packed, but I feel like it's definitely components of this episode that are setting up season 3. So Rhaena finally meets up with the dragon. Okay, but the dragon don't burn her, so she's clearly about to be able to claim. And then you see this scene with this man in a cell, and why the fuck is Otto in a cell? Who took Otto captive? Well, you know what would be crazy is if Aegon sent him off, but then Aemon intersected and then like took him hostage, his own grandfather. That would be fucking insane. I'm not even gonna lie, yo. Aegon and Larys are escaping. So Alicent went to the room and he was not there. And Larys and Oh my God, Lars and fucking Aegon are skipping out of town. It's so much going on just in this last 5 minutes. What? Bravo. It wasn't the most action packed finale, but God, it had moments though. So is Rhaena gonna get a dragon? Rhaenyra basically bitched Allison and sent her about her way. So how is Allison gonna feel? Is she gonna eat that, or is she gonna come back with a vengeance next season? They say we gotta wait until 2026. So I guess that's when y'all get that review. That was House of the Dragon season 2, episode 8. The Queen, whoever was. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. HighTimez out.